I believe the number one skill you need in order to lose weight and to maintain it is the ability to get back on track quickly after you've made a mistake. And I think this is one of those things that very few people think about when they want to lose weight because we're so conditioned to be all or nothing, right? It's like we're not thinking about weight loss and then all of a sudden, that's it, I'm going to lose the weight with the perfect line of success down to our goal. And that's just not going to happen. You know what I mean? Like if you have any amount of weight to lose and it's going to take a little bit of time, there's going to be mistakes. There's going to be ups and downs. It's just natural. So your ability to get back on track after you made a mistake is probably the most important thing that's going to dictate your weight. So I got two suggestions for you that'll help you do that. The first one is the way you're thinking about your weight loss, right? So I like to use the concept of like the sprint versus the marathon, right? If you think of a sprint, like any little mistake you make, you're going to lose the race, right? There's no room for error. When it comes to a marathon, you could trip and you could still win the race, right? Because it's about endurance. It's a longer time frame. So little mistakes kind of, get averaged out and they're not as impactful. So it's the same thing with your weight loss. If you're thinking about your weight loss like a sprint, then any little mistake feels like it's overwhelming and it's going to ruin everything, right? But if you start thinking about your weight loss like a marathon, like I want to maintain my weight for the rest of my life, then all of a sudden the mistakes take on a different intensity. They lower, right? It's not as big of a deal. Okay, so my first suggestion to you is that you think of this process as a long-term process, right? So that if you make a mistake, it's no big deal, okay? The second thing is how you think about how you're going to get back on track, okay? And so a lot of times with weight loss, it's the all or nothing mentality, right? So we're either doing something, or we're either not doing something, or we're doing, the perfect plan, working out 5 times a week, eating 1,000 calories a day, everything's perfect. But life's not going to allow you to always be perfect. Like it's just not. And so I think what you want to do is you want to shift the all or nothing strategy to an all or something strategy. And this is a game changer because I know you've had the experience before where you've done some intense plan for a week or two, and then all of a sudden you just get burnt out, right? It's very difficult to keep it going. And you make a mistake and then you say, I got to get back on track. And what we're saying is I got to get back on 100% track. I got to get back on that intense plan. But sometimes we don't want to do that intense plan. Sometimes we can't do that intense plan. We just don't have the energy for it or the motivation. And so in those situations, what I suggest to you is that you have an alternate plan for yourself, which is a something plan, something in the middle. Right? So again, all plans 100%, the nothing plan 0%. We want to have something in the 50% range because now all of a sudden, when you operate between 100% and 50%, you've dramatically made an impact on your weight and your health. You see? And I can tell you for me, this has been one of the biggest shifts there is. My eating in no way is perfect all the time. It's just not. But what's happened is the foundation, I've lifted up the foundational pieces that influence my weight. So I'm consistently getting the proper amount of sleep. I'm always getting the right amount of water. I'm relaxing myself. I'm doing foundational things that are relatively easy that really set the foundation for me and allow me to get back on track a lot quicker. Because getting back on track quicker is not always eating perfectly and going to the gym. Sometimes it's just our mindset and our mood and our energy. Sometimes getting back on track is recovering a little bit so we feel better, you see? So broaden your perspective. It doesn't just have to be you putting the screws to yourself, having some, perfect plan you're following. That's such a narrow way to think about it. And it's like walking a tightrope. It's very, very difficult and it's just not necessary. Expand that time frame. And as you do, again, that all or something mentality really starts to pay dividends over time. All right, so I hope this helps you out. And again, really give it some thought. That's the other thing. I guess that's kind of the third little suggestion I have for you is to give it some thought of what are some strategies I can use to get myself back on track, when I fall off, right? How do you typically fall off track and what can you do to get yourself back on track quickly? Give that some thought. Just thinking about it alone in a solution-oriented way, you're going to come up with some pretty interesting things that are going to help you. Okay, so I hope all these things help you out. Remember, nothing tastes as good as thin and healthy feels, and have a great day.